Do you remember the movie Her with Scarlett Johansson playing the voice of AI personal assistant alongside Joaquin Phoenix? Well, art becomes reality as OpenAI recently released a new voice known as Sky, which many recognize to be the same voice as Oscar-nominated actress. The lawyers for Johansson now demanding that the company disclose how it developed the voice. It's worth noting that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman has said in the past that his favorite movie is the 2013 film Her, and in a post on X, OpenAI said the voice has been halted to address questions about how we chose the voices in ChatGPT. It doesn't on the surface look very good for OpenAI. Though they pulled it down, they reached out to her agent just days before the release of the update and asked if she would reconsider authorizing this, and she said no for personal reasons. So just days before they reach out to her, then it's released, and it sounds like her does not look good. What's the burden of proof here, though? I have no idea. How do you prove that that's your voice?
I think for these actors, obviously, and their agents and their managers, they will be working on that, because you and I had talked about last week that this happened to Tom Hanks. He was basically spoofed. His voice was used in an advertisement, but he never signed off on that, right? And so now this is a second case of an actor's voice being imitated that we're learning of. And I do give Scarlett Johansson credit for sticking up here and taking a stand. Reminds me of what she did with Disney during the pandemic, when a film that she was in went straight to streaming, skipped the theaters, and a lot of her compensation was tied to what it would have made in the theaters, right? So the second time that we've seen an actor taking a stand, and think back to the writer's strike. I mean, this is, a lot of it was about wanting to have protections to protect against AI in these creative fields.
But how many are there that have her kind of clout that could get OpenAI to stop the release? Probably a handful at best, while most actors are going to have no power to actually sway these companies. And this is why Warren Buffett said at his annual shareholder meeting, AI scams will be the growth industry of all time. Whether you are a singer or an actor, it is going to be very difficult and a massive challenge to protect what is yours.
Just from a timing standpoint, I don't know if you saw this film. I did see it, but to think, you mentioned 2013. It's been more than a decade since this was released. So we've been talking about artificial intelligence for many, many years, more than a decade. And you could argue that Google itself, a Google search engine, is artificial intelligence. But now with the onset, the debut of ChatGPT in the fall of 2022, things have dramatically changed.